The second question actually is about the scammers.
The main problem is that the reasons the immigration department stated in the rejection letter, the reasons are, some of them are not really logical and some of them are very, very subjective.
Refugees.
More, we've resettled 73,000. I mean, it's a remarkable feat, and not only in the adversity that Syrian refugees have had to overcome.
Which actually hints towards some sort of systematic discrimination when it comes to the study program.
So the second question actually is about the scammers. So what are the efforts that IRCC taking to to prevent scammers and boost consultants from abusing the system, the immigration system?
Well, the first thing I would say is we take fraud very seriously. And before I got into politics, I was a federal prosecutor. And so I believe it's very important to bring those individuals who would try to take advantage or exploit newcomers and bring them to justice. And that's why we have invested over $50 million to ensure that we're enforcing the rules. I've also been mandated by the Prime Minister to introduce a new regulatory college, which will ensure that those unscrupulous consultants are living up to the high standards, and where they don't, if they break the rules, then we will ensure that they have to ensure that they are in compliance with the rules. So by both enforcing the rules as well as continuing to invest, we will be sure that there is integrity in our system. And that is the way that we are going to keep a high degree of confidence in it by the public at large.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Now, before we talk about the immigration and refugees, I'll leave Abu Bakr to discuss one matter related to the international student and student immigration.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us today. So I'm an education influencer. I discuss education on my YouTube channel that has around 500,000 subscribers. And through that and through other influencers who are doing the same kind of work, we managed to promote Canada, introduce Canada to international students from around the world. However, all this promotion, all what we're doing, actually, we're facing a big problem when it comes to the rejection of study permits. So last IRC data said that the rejection rate is 53% at the moment. However, if we look at students from countries like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, we see that the rejection rate may be around 4 or 5%. However, students from the Middle East and Africa, rejection rate varies between 80 to 90%, except the Gulf, the oil-rich countries. If you look at the rest of the countries in the Middle East and Africa, it's like 80 to 90%. I have currently with me rejection letters of around 170 students who follow me on social media, who knew about Canadian universities through my videos and applied. They have a complete file, a complete application, and an official acceptance letter, and they still got rejected. Now, that's not the main problem that they got rejected. The main problem is that the reasons the immigration department stated in the rejection letter, the reasons are, some of them are not really logical and some of them are very, very subjective. So at the moment, I could tell with almost 99% certainty if someone can get accepted or rejected just based on their nationality, which actually hints towards some sort of systematic discrimination when it comes to the study permit. So I have a two-part question here. The number one is, what's the current administration for the immigration for IRC is doing to look at this matter? And the second part is, people who would like to contribute solutions to the matter, like myself, how they can reach out to you and send their suggestions with regards to this problem. And thank you.
Well, no, thank you, Abu Bakr, for the question and for your advocacy and for providing me with an opportunity to tell you how our system works. The first thing I want to say is that we understand that these decisions have a huge impact on people's lives, and that people who want to come to Canada to visit, to study, to work, are really hoping for a process that is fair, that is transparent, and that promotes a consistency in the approach. And so we want to live up to those values every single day. And where there are cases Abu Bakr, that require more close attention, me, my office, our department, we remain open to working with members of the community as well as members of parliament, and we do that every day. And so my door is open. I just want to say to you and to everybody that is watching your YouTube channel, all 500,000 subscribers, that we want to be sure that we're taking a very fair approach. The decisions that are taken are made by our professional public servants. They are impartial, they are trained, and we continue to work with them as well to be sure that we're living up to those high standards. I will say that we take the issues around discrimination very, very seriously. I believe in a government that has to be sure that everybody is treated fairly, without discrimination. We know that there are issues right across society. So we're always looking to work with the community to be sure that we have an immigration system that is open, inclusive, and fair. That's how we got to build Canada. This is a strong country because of our diversity, because of our immigration. And as the minister, I believe very strongly in that. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, family reunification and the super visa. We discussed this actually in our last meeting. However, I actually asked people what are the questions they're having always and concerns about the immigration, and they kept on telling me family reunification is taking really long. Super visa is getting also longer, and there are many of their parents and grandparents getting rejected for visa. Is there any reason for that, and how fast can we process all of those like family reunifications and super visa as well?
Well, this has been a really difficult and challenging time for families. I'll be the first to say that. I've spoken to many, but one of the reasons why we have been focused on reuniting families is precisely because we're in the midst of a pandemic and we know how important it is to keep loved ones together. And let me just highlight for you some of the progress that we have made in very concrete terms. We will process 49,000 spousal sponsorship applications by the end of this year. My department is on track to hit that target. We have put a special team on it, and we will continue working on it day and night until we can get that target. The second thing is that in the meantime, we have created a dedicated pathway to reunite families that applies not only to immediate family members, but also extended family members, including unmarried couples. And we have reunited tens of thousands of families under that exemption. We have a 14-day service standard to turn around decisions. We are exceeding it. So if applications are submitted and they're complete and they're accurate, we're actually turning around those decisions closer to 10 or 11 days. And finally, I recently relaunched the Parent and Grandparent Program, where over the next 2 years, we are going to allocate 40,000 and process 40,000 spaces under that program. These are just 3 concrete ways in which we are keeping families together despite all of the challenges of the pandemic. And I know that how important it is for you, your viewers, to hear that message, because this is a government that believes that family reunification has to be part of our overall immigration framework.
Is there any plan to include actually points and chances for siblings?
Well, I know that there has been some discussion about that, but I will say that that we are making great strides when it comes to reuniting families, and that there are pathways to have siblings come and visit. Obviously the COVID-19 has put a bit of a wrench into things, but we are being very creative and innovative, and we will keep doing more when it comes to family reunification as long as we can make it work on the advice of our public health care experts.
2 more questions about refugees. Refugees. Is the government planning to bring more sponsorship programs, refugees, or like the private sponsorship is going to be open to bring more family, to reunite them as well? I know that we have also responsibility towards other groups, it doesn't have to be always from the Middle East. We're kind of like hoping that the government, they're going to try to initiate a second wave to bring Syrian refugees or maybe any other countries. Any plans to look into this? Because I think people's expectations are very high after bringing the first like 50 to 60,000 Syrian families, so they're looking for more.
We've resettled 73,000. I mean, it's a remarkable feat, and not only in the adversity that Syrian refugees have had to overcome, but in the ways in which Canadians have opened up their homes and communities with their hearts to give all of them a second chance at a better life. And it's not just Syrian refugees. We're a world leader The United Nations has recognized that for 2 years in a row, no country has resettled more refugees than Canada. And that is because Canadians understand that when refugees do well, we all do well. I think of a family that is just recently resettled from Rohingya. A Rohingya family has settled in Chatham, Ontario, which is not far from my wife's hometown in Windsor, Ontario. We drive by Chatham all the time. And I think about the better and more brighter, prosperous future that lies in wait for that family. This is because we believe that Canada has a role to play, a leading role to play when it comes to providing a safe refuge for the world's most vulnerable. And at no point in time in our history has it been more important that we continue to be a trailblazer in this area. And I look forward to achieving that with our plan going forward and in partnership with Canadians.
Safe third country agreement. The government has won a court to keep the safe country agreement in place for now. The opposition, they have a problem with always keeping our borders open. People, they keep saying that we're buying time until to see the new administration or to see what will happen with the election. Because most of the activists, they claim that the safe third country agreement is unconstitutional due to the fact that with the Donald Trump administration, the United States, it's not safe for refugees. However, now the Democrats has won. New administration is in place. Is the safe third country agreement will stay? Is the government trying to buy time until January to discuss this case, the third safe country agreement?
Well, it would be inappropriate for me as a sitting minister to comment on any case that is before the courts. The judges will decide that case on the basis of submissions which will be made, and we will respect that court decision as we always do. What I will say is that Canada has a robust asylum system that is respected and revered around the world because we believe in fundamental rights. We believe in due process, and we believe in sharing the responsibility of providing a safe harbor with other like-minded countries, including our friends to the south of the border. I know there are concerns about some of the decisions which have been taken in the United States. We monitor those decisions very closely. At the end of the day, we have a court process. We will respect the court's decision, and we will continue to show leadership, as I have said, in providing a safe harbor for those most vulnerable. And that isn't just because of the government, it's because of the compassion and the kindness and the belief of all Canadians that refugees are not just victims. They have something to offer, and we saw that today at the citizenship ceremony. It made me so proud to be able to welcome those 29 into our family.
Well, we are so proud as well to be part of this amazing country, and thank you so much for being with us tonight. We look forward to more roundtables to discuss more important matters for immigrants and refugees at the same time. Thank you so much, Minister Mendicino.
Shukran.
Afwan.
Thank you. Thank you.